In a shadowy castle, cloaked in cold stone and secrets, the evil queen stood before her magic mirror. Her voice, sharp as glass, cut through the silence. "Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the fairest of them all?" The mirror's surface rippled like water, and a voice echoed back, "Snow White is still the fairest of them all." A fire of pure fury ignited in the queen's eyes. Jealousy, a bitter poison, flooded her heart. This time, she hissed to the empty room, her beauty will be her undoing. Deep within her secret chamber, surrounded by bubbling cauldrons and ancient spellbooks, she began her wicked work. She mixed a potion of shimmering, deadly liquid, its fumes curling like vengeful spirits. Taking a perfect shiny red apple, she dipped one half into the brew, one half to tempt, one half to end. She cackled, her smile a cruel slash in her beautiful face. This time, the girl will never awaken. Her plan was set. All that remained was the perfect disguise to deliver her gift of eternal sleep. To hide her royal face, the queen transformed herself. Her smooth skin wrinkled, her back hunched, and her voice became the raspy croak of an old peddler woman, dressed in tattered rags, with a basket of tempting apples on her arm and a crooked cane in her hand. She set off. She trudged through the gnarled, dark forest, the trees themselves seeming to recoil as she passed. Her destination was a small, cheerful cottage, tucked away in a sunlit clearing, the home of the 7 dwarfs. Inside, Snow White was a picture of innocence and joy. She hummed a sweet melody as she swept the floor. Her animal friends, birds, squirrels, and deer, gathered around her. Her song was abruptly interrupted by a gentle knock at the window. Peering out, she saw a kindly-looking old woman, her face crinkled into what seemed to be a warm smile. "Would you like a lovely apple, my dear?" The woman wheezed, holding up the most perfect ruby-red apple Snow White had ever seen, fresh from the orchard, and oh so sweet. Snow White hesitated. A seed of caution planted by the dwarfs sprouted in her mind. They had warned her, with great seriousness, never to trust strangers or accept anything from them. The old woman seemed to sense her doubt. With a theatrical sigh, she took a small, delicate bite from the white, untouched side of the apple. "See? Perfectly safe," she said softly, her eyes twinkling, reassured by the seemingly harmless act. Snow White's gentle heart won out over her caution. She smiled, accepted the apple, and took a generous bite from the gleaming red side. Instantly, the world spun into darkness. Her eyes fluttered closed. A gasp escaped her lips, and she collapsed to the floor, as still as a porcelain doll. The poisoned apple rolled from her limp hand as the disguised queen let out a triumphant, cruel laugh that echoed through the cottage, before she vanished back into the shadows of the forest. Her vile deed complete, that evening, the 7 dwarfs returned from their work in the mines, their cheerful whistling dying on their lips as they stepped inside. They found Snow White lying silent and still on the floor, her breath gone, her warmth fading. Panic and sorrow seized them. They called her name, gently shook her shoulders, and tried everything they could think of, but nothing could wake her. Tears streamed down their weathered faces as the devastating truth settled in their hearts. Believing their beloved princess was gone forever, they couldn't bear to bury her in the cold, dark ground. Instead, with heavy hearts and skillful hands, they crafted a magnificent coffin of pure crystal and gleaming gold. They laid Snow White inside, arranging her dark hair and smoothing her dress. They surrounded her with bouquets of wildflowers, and her forest friends kept a tearful vigil. One day, a prince from a neighboring kingdom was riding through the forest. He was drawn by a strange, ethereal light emanating from the clearing. There, he saw the most heartbreakingly beautiful sight. A girl, seemingly asleep, encased in a crystal coffin, guarded by 7 grieving dwarfs. He dismounted, captivated by her serene beauty. The dwarfs, seeing the kindness in his eyes, tearfully recounted her tragic story. Moved beyond words, the prince leaned over the coffin. "I wish I could wake her," he whispered. A silent prayer filled with hope. He leaned down and gently pressed a kiss to her forehead. And in that moment, a miracle happened. The magic of the poisoned apple shattered. Color returned to Snow White's cheeks. Her eyelids fluttered, and she took a deep, shuddering breath. She sat up, her eyes blinking in the sunlight, as if waking from a long dream. The spell was broken. The dwarfs erupted in cheers of pure joy, dancing and hugging each other. The forest itself seemed to come alive with celebration. The birds sang their most beautiful songs, and the sun shone brighter than ever before. Snow White smiled, her heart filled with gratitude. She thanked the kind prince who had saved her. Soon, he helped her onto his white horse, and together they rode away from the dark forest, toward his shining kingdom on the horizon. There, they were welcomed with open arms and lived happily ever after. And so the timeless story of Snow White reminds us of a powerful truth, that even in the darkest of times, when all hope seems lost, acts of true love and kindness have the power to conquer any evil and bring back the light. Thank you so much for joining me for this classic fairy tale. If you enjoyed this story, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more magical tales. We'll see you in the next story.